Clint Patrick Black is an American country music singer, songwriter, musician, multi-instrumentalist, record producer, and actor. Signed to RCA Nashville in 1989, Black's debut album, Killin' Time, produced 4 straight #1 singles on the U.S. Billboard Hot Country Singles and Track Chart. Although his momentum gradually slowed throughout the 90s, Black consistently charted hit songs into the 2000s. He has had more than 30 singles on the U.S. Billboard Country Chart, 22 of which have reached #1, in addition to having released 12 studio albums and several compilation albums. Come with us as we turn our spotlight onto the life and career of Clint Black. Before we begin, please hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell so you don't miss a single one of our upcoming videos. Clint Black was born in Long Branch, New Jersey, the youngest of 4 children of Ann and Gwen Black Jr., and lived in nearby Red Bank. The family moved back to Texas, where G.A. Black had been born and raised before Clint was 1 year old. He was raised in Katy, Texas. Black taught himself to play harmonica before he was 13, and at 14 wrote his first song. His father remarked that it was at this age that the parents first noticed that he had a great voice. By 15, Black had learned to play guitar. As a teenager, Black joined his elder brothers, Mark, Kevin, and Brian, in their small band. On Saturday afternoons, the family would host backyard barbecues and invite the neighborhood to listen to the boys sing. Some weekends would attract up to 70 people. Black eventually dropped out of high school to play with his brothers, before becoming a solo act. Now, Black was initially drawn to a variety of musical genres. According to his father, he chose to focus on country music in the early 1980s, after singer George Strait and Reba McEntire moved the genre back towards the more traditional style of country music. For 6 years, Black supported himself as a construction worker, bait cutter, and fishing guide, while singing at various lounges as a solo singer and guitarist. Now, it was in 1987 at one of the gigs he met another guitarist, Hayden Nicholas. The two men connected musically and began a songwriting partnership that would last decades. In the late 1980s, Black delivered a demo of their collaboration, Nobody's Home, to record promoter Sammy Alfano. Within 2 days of that delivery, Black was invited to a meeting with Bill Ham, who managed ZZ Top. Black soon signed with RCA in October of 1987, and at the time RCA was considered one of the most aggressive labels in country music. His first album, Killin' Time, was released in 1989. Each song on the album was penned at least in part by Black. 4 of them were attributed solely to him, while the rest were collaborations with Nicholas. The album was a critical and commercial success, reaching #1 on the Billboard Country Albums chart and certified platinum in 1990. He made his debut in 1989 with the single A Better Man, which reached #1 on the Billboard Hot Country Songs in early June. This marked the first time in 14 years that a debut single by a male artist had peaked at the top of the chart. In total, 5 singles off his debut album reached #1, the first time any country artist had accomplished this feat. Black won the Country Music Association's Horizon Award for Best Newcomer in 1989. At the end of the year, his singles, A Better Man and Killin' Time, placed #1 and #2 on the year-end country singles chart. It had been 36 years since another artist had claimed both top spots in a single year. Looking back at the early stages of his career, Black recalled, "At one point I knew I crossed this line of obscurity, and I felt like no matter what happened from that point on, I would always be remembered for Killin' Time." There was this kind of mixed feeling of remorse and excitement. Killin' Time was certified platinum in 1990. Now, Black's second album, Put Yourself in My Shoes, was released in November of 1990. It reached #2 on the country chart and was in the top 20 on the pop album charts. The album didn't meet with as much critical acclaim as its debut, but nonetheless still included several hit singles. he began touring with Alabama. By mid-1992, Black's first two albums had sold a combined 5 million copies. The difficulties with Ham caused a delay in the release of Black's third album, The Hard Way, which was released on July 14th. The album had been expected the year previously, and during the delay the country music scene changed. Both Alan Jackson and Travis Tritt achieved greater success, and Billy Ray Cyrus became a teen idol. The competition that Black faced was now much stiffer than with his earlier albums. Now, to promote the album, Black launched the Hard Way Tour on June 26, 1992. The tour ran for 11 months. Reviewers noticed that with this album, Black presented a new, sexier image, wearing tighter clothing and, in many cases, leaving behind his trademark hat. Black commented simply that he was bored wearing the hat all the time. Black's fourth album, No Time to Kill, was released almost a year after The Hard Way. One Emotion followed in late 1994. Also a platinum-certified album in the U.S., this album accounted for 5 straight top 5 hits. In 1996, Black became the fourth country music singer to earn a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Later that year, he released his first greatest hits package. Black's next album, 1997's Nothing But the Taillight, lead-off single Still Holding On, a duet with label mate Martina McBride, became his first single to land outside of the top 10, with a number 11 peak that year. He soon recovered his chart momentum with the number 2, Something That We Do. The next two singles, the number 12, Loosen Up My Strings, and number 29, You Don't Need Me Now, were less successful. In 1999, Black released De-Electrified, which relied completely on acoustic instruments. 3 of the songs on the album were remakes of previous Black singles. Several others featured guest appearances by some of Black's idols. Now, Black and Hartman welcomed their first child, Lily Pearl Black, in May of 2001. Black took a 3-year break from the music industry to stay home with his daughter. He explained that it ended up not being a smart career move, but it was a real smart dad move. I wouldn't go back and try to do anything for my career in exchange for that. During his sabbatical, Black spent time reassessing his career. After deciding he was unwilling to work within the current recording industry system, he formed his own record label, Equity Music Group. Black admitted that it was difficult to leave RCA. In his 14 years with the label, he had sold over 20 million records. The first release from the new label was Black's next album, Spend My Time. Now, it was in 2005 Black released Drinking Songs and Other Logic. Black chose the title of the album to limit himself to simple topics in his past. He explained, I went out and bought all the music I grew up on that I didn't already have, and spent 3 months listening to only that, only stuff from before I started making records. So it was pre-1989. What I discovered was the simplicity in a song that I had moved away from. It was quite an emotional journey because these were all the songs that moved me and inspired me to do what I've been doing ever since. Black has continued to record new material, however. In 2007, he released the single The Strong One, the first original song he has recorded that he did not write. The song was included in his first digital EP, released on March 11, 2008, titled The Long Cool EP. The collection featured Black's single Long Cool Woman, The Strong One, and a duet with his wife titled You Still Get to Me. Equity Music Group closed its doors in December 2008 due to economic difficulty. Black was also a judge for the 8th Annual Independent Music Awards to support independent artists. In 2013, he issued a Cracker Barrel exclusive album, which featured re-recorded versions of some of his biggest hits, as well as 3 new songs. In July 2015, it was reported that Black had signed a new record deal with independent label 30 Tigers to release an album of new studio material in the fall. The record title was revealed shortly thereafter as On Purpose, with the release date of September 25th. Black's next album, Out of Saying, was released in 2020. Now, few country singers fill their albums primarily with their own material. And although RCA Records often pushed Black to record the material of other artists, he refused. Black recorded only his own songs until 2007, when he released the single The Strong One. Many of his songs were the result of a collaboration with Hayden Nichols. Their first collaboration, Straight from the Factory, took them only 20 minutes to write, although Nichols would later comment that most of them weren't that easy. According to Black, to me, a song is more than just something to sing. It's something to learn from. It's somebody else's true feeling. I'm always trying to get at that meaning. When I write a line, I'm doing the same thing. I'm looking at it from the perspective of if I was driving down the road, listening to it. What am I going to get out of it? Now, shortly after his music career took off, he began receiving offers for acting roles. He turned down every request until 1994, when he was offered a bit part in the star-studded comedy film Maverick. Although the part required very little actual acting, after the movie's release, Black received an increasing number of calls from directors who thought he would be perfect for a particular role. Black has appeared in several television shows. He has since starred in the 1998 television film Still Holding On, The Legend of Cadillac Jack, based on the rodeo star Jack Favor, who was falsely accused of double murder in Louisiana in 1967. Lisa Hartman Black portrayed Ponder Favor, Jack's wife. Black had a major role in other television movies, Going Home, and appeared briefly in the 2003 film Anger Management. He has also had a presence on various reality TV shows. In 2003, Black appeared on Nashville Star, where he acted as a mentor to the contestants. Later that year, Clint also appeared on ABC's sitcom Hope and Faith in the episode Hope and Faith Get Randy. He later produced the debut album of series winner Buddy Jewell. In 2004, Clint appeared as himself in the TV show Las Vegas. On July 4, 2012, Black appeared on an episode of Lifetime's reality series Coming Home, which documents servicemen and women returning to their loved ones in surprise reunions. In the episode, he is featured helping two children write a song about their Army captain father, who is returning from Afghanistan to surprise his family. In 2020, Black and Lisa appeared on the fourth season of The Masked Singer as Snow Owl, notably competing as the series' first duet competitor while riding in an egg-shaped vehicle. Okay, that's the end of our video. I sure hope you enjoyed it. If you like this type of video and want us to keep producing them, please like and subscribe. And as always, thank you very much for watching.